guys, Wahoo here, back on another video. This time around, we are gonna go over the Trovies. The Trovies are here. Yes, the Trovies. And what are the Trovies? The Trovies is a play or kind of a Trove's own Oscars nominations. So unfortunately, you can't vote for me as, you know, the most handsome person. I know you would love to do so. I'm joking. But the point is, it is about the events that's been, it says 2025, but it is also the previous events, like a whole year basically. So from, we just had Heckbox and Love, so that's the latest event. And now it's gonna go all the way back to, I can't, you can see that when we get onto the voting thing, you can see which one. And I'll go kind of over all of the events, not all events per se, but I'm gonna kind of see the ups and downs about which events I think was amazing. But it's a very nice opportunity to show the developers that which events you are going to like the most. And it doesn't, I don't know if there is any way you can tell them why you like those events or why you pick that event or however it is, but we'll see when we get to that. I do have tried it out a little bit just to see kind of what it was, but I haven't really voted yet. So we'll see what happens when we get to that. But this here is linked in the description, so you can go and vote yourself if you do want to do so as well. But as you can see here, there is just 5 questions that they want answers to. That's basically, I think that's the nominees for which ones these are. And you can click, of course, right here. I've already opened it, but before Sunday, March 9th, then you can vote, and if you vote, 3 lucky participants do win 1,500 credits, so very nice for like 2 minutes of work. That's really nice. And then everyone gets to have a 3-day XP boost depending on how many people they vote. So if they get 250 votes, we're gonna get 15%, 500 votes, 20%, and 750 votes, we are gonna get 25% bonus experience for that also. Unfortunately, it's not gonna line up with XP week, unfortunately, because it was XP week last week, so it's gonna still be 3 weeks until then, and that's when so it's just gonna be a bonus on top of that. Unfortunately, it's not gonna line up with Saturday either, so it's just gonna be some extra experience on some days, but it's not gonna be a big boost. Like, make sure you definitely play on, like, you know, a Saturday with all the other stuff on top of that. But it is nice to use your 3-day pass. For example, if you have a line around, you know, your Patreon 3-day pass, and to boost that with some extra 250% experience on top of that. So it's really nice that it's gonna be for 3 days. It is so. Anyways, so I have clicked on the start thing here. You can see this is welcome to the Trovies 2025. So it does say here, what are your favorite events in 2025? But some of these events, St. Tubesley is the next event we are getting, of course, here in March, as we have. You can also see, if you really look really closely, I don't know if you can see on the video, but it does say 2024 right here. So it's of course these events, the Heckbox in Love, the Chinese New Year's. This is of course not the dragon we had. This is the dragon we had last year, but not the dragon we had this year. But doesn't really matter. This is of course, we have had these 3 events this year, and all of these we haven't had, of course, this year. Of course, you know, Snowfest and all Thanksgiving, Friendsgiving, Shadows Eve, and also all of that stuff was, you know, last year. But of course, it's until right now, basically. So I do want to say you can only vote for one of them. You can see I've already voted kind of in a way for the Heckbox in Love, but it also, you can only click one. As you can see here, if I click over here, it's basically all, you can't click any of these. you can't click more than one, because I actually think that some of these events, all of them, not all of them, but most of them had their own amazing part of it. Not that it makes it the best. I don't really think I can pick the best one. Maybe I can, because the best one so far, like the whole year, is still the Heckbox in Love we just had, because you could buy those souls and you could buy the cores as well. You can just buy them. You have to do it for the event, during the the event, all that stuff. So that's of course amazing. But we also had the Lunar Plunder, and the Lunar Plunder last year was that we actually got to farm these souls with a very low drop chance, but they could be farmed. So we got so excited when we could do that, and now they've implemented these towers into these shores of Everdark, but they don't drop them anymore, unfortunately, but they are in there. So I think that's amazing that they're in there, so there's something else to do in there, but unfortunately, yeah, that's not really a thing anymore, unfortunately, so we can't keep farming them. That would be very nice though. But also the bonus bonanza, super awesome concept as well, where we had, you know, if we completed some challenges, we got some bonuses and stuff like experience, all that stuff. Also, the season of surprises was amazing. It could have been a little bit more, I think, in the season, in the spirit of the season of Snowfest and Thanksgiving and all that, you know, holiday season. It could have been a little bit more. We have in the past gotten a little bit more, but hopefully they can boost it just a little bit, like just dial it up to 11 instead of having it on 10. That would be super awesome, but still super amazing. Some reason I just kind of like the, you know, other events that's been, like Splendid Summer is always kind of nice coming there, but Sunfest, again, not super amazing, again, not super crazy. Like, this is Trove's birthday, it should be over the top event, like it shouldn't be any near looking like any of the other events, right? It should be something where it's like, oh my god, like Sunfest, I'm gonna play. Like, I'm not saying you shouldn't play, but the point is, you're really looking forward to Sunfest. That's what I mean. Like, you know, if you're not gonna play any other day or at any other time, then Sunfest, or it should be Sunfest, right? That's what I mean. Like, it should be amazing. But I gotta go with the Heckbucks and Love because you could buy those things. I hope it's something we're gonna see in other iterations. Like, some way you can get the souls, some way you can get the cores, all that stuff like we get here. And maybe not as much, maybe a little bit less, but or maybe a little bit more, I don't know. But at least on par on that made Heckbucks in Love very super absolutely amazing. I know there was some hiccups with the event, like it was there a week before, and then we also got an extra day and stuff like that because there was some over the weekend and all that stuff. But all super amazing events that we kind of got last year, but some of them kind of stood out and some of them were kind of underwhelming, as we have tried before. And of course the Friendsgiving is amazing and well with all the experience you get, that's always, but I really feel like every event should have their theme to it. Like, of course they have a theme to it, but I mean, like in towards like experience for Friendsgiving, maybe some again, Lunar Plunder with some other stuff, or Sunfest with getting a bunch of extra stuff, like really overboard in some ways. But yeah, I'm gonna go with the Heckbucks in Love. So just solely because of them having Herald, that was the vendor that sold us the souls and sold us the cores as well, and those cores could also be sold, so you can actually make some bunch of money as a new player. But we are gonna go to the next one as well. Favorite feature stuck out most to you? Okay, so is this probably like the last year? Yeah, it's definitely not going to be the new tutorial because that was very underwhelming. But yeah, that was the gear stuff we've gotten the last year. Not crazy. You can see it's not crazy which new feature stood out to you the most. It has to be the gear crafting, unfortunately. It can't be the even though the Long Shade World thing update was the biggest of them. The way of you just like how grindy it became, like kind of inaccessible in a way. There's sort of that unforgiving cap or like gap between like going from Crystal 5 to the Mythic gear and all that stuff. Like, I just have to go with the gear crafting. The gear crafting update was as amazing. It's super amazing. Really, really great update. And I really feel like they dropped the ball on these two. Could they have been better? Yeah. Are they like bad? No, they're not bad, but I feel like they could just have done a little bit more. Like, the delves are not like soloable, for example. Like, it doesn't scale with that. I would love to see that you have an option to, if you want to go alone, like, you have to go with other people, and I would just love to see them scaling with that. I feel like we're forced to like find other people, and we don't have amazing opportunity to do that in game. That's why my last video, not my last video, but the video I made with the ideas video was all about social, you know, in-game social, finding other people to play with, actually, you know, group finder, dungeon finder, whatever you call it. Like, because it's just, you have to be in a group to do the delves, and you can't do it solo, and it doesn't scale. If it scaled, then maybe people would just do them alone, sure, and it wouldn't support or encourage people to do group play, for sure. But the point is, it's so hard to find people. You have to know people, or, you know, just like go know the right channels to go to, and you have to find some people that can actually also do it. You can't just maybe you do it with a bunch of people, and it's just a nightmare. It's just a much easier if there was some group finder or something like built into the game that you find and actually find other people to do. So I have to go with the gear crafting. Unfortunately, I would love to have more options. Just a little hint, you know, we would love to see a little bit more features next year. That'd be amazing. Again, I would rather see quality over quantity. So that's why I haven't made like videos talking about, hey, we don't get any updates, we don't get any features, all that stuff. I haven't done that at all because I would rather see call it quality than quantity. I don't want to just throw out like just random little itty bitty updates that doesn't do anything and then say, okay, well, we have no time to do big quality updates and hear back from the community and like really feel it out and take our time with it, because we have to make all these little updates and, you know, that's how it works. No, I'd rather have them, I wouldn't say make one update a year, but if that is so amazing, if that is like insanely good, then I wouldn't mind waiting a year for an update. Seriously, like I would be sad that it would only be a year for sure, but again, I'm just putting in perspective that rather have quality over quantity. So we're going to move on with the gear crafting. Then we are going to, which new pack did you like the most? I don't buy any of these. Not this one for sure. It's not going to be this one. That is 100% sure. It's not going to be this one. I can tell you right now. I think it's, again, another mistake that we couldn't, you know, farm this dragon at the same time, but you had to buy it if you wanted the dragon from last year. And I bet you that we are next year, or this pack is coming back, of course, with the new dragon that we are going to get. Yes, you have a chance to craft it there, but we should just be able to craft the old ones as well. Like, the pack should be there. There should be packs you can just buy if you want to do so, if that's your option. But if you just want to farm it out, then you should be able to farm it out instead of just buying it. Like, I totally get that they want people to spend money on the game. For sure, it's free to play. People don't have to spend any money. But people should just have the easy way out if they want to, or take the time to grind it out. It should be the two things. It shouldn't be forced to, you know, get this. If I didn't farm this last year, I would not have bought the pack. Just saying, I would not have bought it. I would just be like, oh, okay, I missed out on that dragon. I don't know any of the other packs, if I should take any of the other ones. I'm gonna go with the gear crafting pack just because why not? Sure. I don't think that any of the other ones, but I did have this one is also this is also terrible pack. I think these ones were the ones you got some extra stuff when you have them equipped, or I don't know. Like I don't think that's amazing. I think this should have been. I think this was what with the gear, not the gear crafting, but yeah, terrible allies that just boosted a little itty bitty, and I don't know. I didn't like that. I think they should have made it a lot better, in my opinion. I'm just gonna go with the gear crafting pack. Don't really feel like any of them is super amazing, but I did have to put my 2 cents in about the other one. Anyways, we're gonna move on. Which class was the most fun to play last year? Okay, yes, okay, which one was the most fun? Since we didn't get a new class, I could go with the Solarian just because it's the newest one, just because it's kind of, hey, Trove, maybe we can get a new class at some point. I'm not saying it should be this year, but I'm just saying, hey, could we get a rework to some of these classes? I don't think I should pick the Knight, because they will probably get the wrong idea, because the Knight definitely needs a rework. There's a few other classes that need a rework just to make them a little bit more interesting, change up the gameplay a little bit more, like we got with the Shadow Hunter. Like, still keep the core essence of the game, of the class, of course, but changing up a little bit. So I could also go with the Dragon, Dracolite, but maybe that means that I won't get a rework to that one either. I would love to see a rework to that one as well. Just a little bit more interesting, something to do with the dragon babies or something like that. It's kind of meh, when you have to do a dungeon and then you have to spawn your dragons and it takes a while before you throw them down and they actually hatch and all that stuff. That could be something done to that, but keep the dragon theme as well, a man turning into a dragon. So I'm just gonna pick the Solarian just because it's the newest class, not really because it's the most fun, but yeah, definitely not gonna pick the knight. Definitely not picking some of the other ones that still needs rework. I feel like some of these that is getting old as well. These rework that's already been there, like the Lunar Lancer rework has been out for quite a while, right? And it's not making it boring, but you know, we haven't seen any reworks since then. I just feel like it keeps the game pretty fresh. And if we can't get a new class, at least get us a couple of reworks. There's a guy, oh, okay, that is interesting. And yes, maybe it's messing up some people. Like if you took the Dracolite and it wouldn't be my favorite class, then I would just move on to another class. But it doesn't matter, but it might end up having somebody else being their favorite class. And I think that's very important. Like it's very sad that you lose your favorite class, but it's still, you work, you know, play something else. That's what I'm trying to say. Just play something else. So I'm gonna go with the Solarian just because it's the newest one. Not really because it's the most fun one, but yeah, it is. Okay, would you like to participate in a raffle to chance to win some credits? I'm just gonna go with no because I think somebody else should know. So some of you guys out there should win it. I don't really care about the ones. I'm not gonna, if there's something I'm going to buy in the shop, I'll buy it because I'm so rich right now. I'm not. I don't even make very much money on YouTube, so yeah, not very much money in this way. But I just would like you guys to win instead of me. And if I opt out of it, you know, you guys have a better chance, right? So I just might as well say no and I get somebody else. So if you win, please let me know if you're one of the ones that watched this video and you also want some of the credits. That would be super awesome. Then I would feel like I was part of you winning. That would make me feel really nice, and that would be all worth it as well. So I'm gonna send it, and there we go. And there is the moment, and hopefully it's also sort of a survey kind of feel. I feel like it is, but again, it's all linked in the description. Of course, this one right over here, this one, so you can go and vote. And hopefully we get the 750 votes. That would be amazing. But 250, we should be able to get that, and 15% is always better than nothing as well. And hopefully some people of the channel will win the credits. I hope so. Hopefully you go vote. So anyways, thank you guys so much for watching, and I'll see you guys in the next one. Bye.